What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Mass, the newest film from director Fran Kranz. Now, before we begin, if you like my channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome, hit that like button, as well as commenting below on any video that you watch, including this one. Man, this is gonna be be hard to do a review for this because this movie's tough. So Mass is the story of a couple who have lost their kid in a tragedy, and they've gone through all the sadness and issues that has come to in terms of that. They've gone through all the lawyers and legal issues and stuff like that, and they decide to meet the parents of the perpetrator who caused this tragedy, which is this couple that has basically gone into hiding. And the couple that lost their kid in the tragedy are played by Martha Plimpton and Jason Isaacs. And the perpetrator's family are played by Dowd and Reed Bailey. And basically, it's a almost stage play-like movie where four individuals have to come to terms of what happened, whether they can forgive the individuals of the perpetrator, the family, the mother and father, and what it takes to heal after something as tragic as what happens in this movie. Because I don't want to spoil it for you, because it's a movie that slowly, like an onion, like I always say, it slowly reveals itself through character dialogue, through character interactions, so on and so forth. So as this movie plays along, we see slowly and slowly what exactly happened, and the more we learn, the more we hear, the crazy world that we live in. It's a very real, really poetic, very sad situation that is too real in this day and age. And so this movie was one of those movies I was really looking forward to, for the simple fact that it had a great cast. I haven't seen Martha Plimpton in a while. She's a great actress, known for being like in The Goonies and Raising Hope or something like that. Jason Isaacs is one of my favorite actors working today, because he's so good in like almost everything he does. And Dowd I haven't seen for a while. I don't know much about Reed Bailey, but I know he's a pretty decent actor. And it's a movie just on the simple fact of what it takes for characters or individuals to have to forgive the really nasty situation that has been presented to them. And so as I kept hearing about this movie, this is one of those movies that has gained a lot of buzz from the Sundance people on how powerful it is, how good of a first-time directing and first-time script from somebody like Fran Kranz, who is known for doing, you know, Cabin in the Woods. He was that stoner guy in Cabin in the Woods, and he was also in Dollhouse. But he's been mostly kind of stereotyped and so on and so forth. So for him to do a movie like this, and especially the kind of buzz it's been getting, it kind of makes sense to want to see it, to see if it's really true or what's happening. And with that said, after seeing this movie, after kind of taking it in, taking a breather, this is my opinion, I can honestly and definitely say this is one of the most powerful movies I've seen this year or in the last couple years. This movie is so mesmerizing to watch. It's so well written. It's so powerful on an acting front that every single scene, every single shot, because it's a very small, very low budgeted movie with, you know, good actors in it, it sends chills down your spine. It makes you cry. It makes you feel, and it makes you wonder whether people can truly be forgiven for something that seems to be out of their control. And to watch these four actors as they confront the situation at hand, to confront the ideals and ideologies and, you know, the warning signs and just everything that happens, it's a movie just so powerful and raw that it will completely devastate you as you watch it. This movie is it's going to be one of my favorite movies of the year. It's going to gain a lot of Oscar buzz, and it really kind of shows you the true nature of a person like Fran Kranz, who, as he talked about in his introduction to this movie for Sundance, it's a movie that necessarily didn't happen, but it was something that's probably happened before in some similar situations. And I was just so moved by this. There were so many tears. I'm like tearing up right now of just how insanely good this movie really is, how low-key and, you know, filled with just so many emotions, and just it's a beautiful kind of takedown of just, you know, how we view one another. You know, you look at stories like this, and you look at the world from the view of something that happens, whether it be a tragedy like whatever happens, and you look at the other side of it, and you realize the other side is hurting as much as you are, or hurting as much as the person that had it happen to them. And you realize that those people are human as well, that what they are going through is just as bad as what you're going through. It's just they had to deal with the reckoning of it. And it's an incredibly interesting idea to see the aftermath of the tragedy, to see the aftermath, the healing, the forgiveness, and so on and so forth. And you could see it from Jason Isaac and Martha Plimpton, who played those parents that had the tragedy happen to them. And you can see Martha Plimpton's very angry. She doesn't want to deal with the situation. You see Jason Isaac, who's trying to be the more bigger person, trying to want to deal with this reckoning and so on and so forth. And then they go to the church where they're going to have this, you know, one-on-one conversation. And then we get the other parents, the Reed Bailey and the Dowd character, and you can tell that they're very squeamish. They don't know what to do. They're very kind of reserved because they don't want to say anything that will truly upset the other parents. And what ends up happening is you have all those emotions start pouring out of everyone, start coming out. You start feeling the hate, the anger, the love, the passion, everything about it just truly is remarkable as it slowly unfolds upon itself. It's a script that is so raw and so emotional and so just cathartic that even if you hadn't gone through a tragedy like this, you really kind of feel the emotional resonance as it plays through. And every single actor in this movie is fantastic, but I have to give the most credit to Dowd, who plays the mother of the person that caused the issue. When you see that, like I said, when you see that side of the situation, you want to hate those parents for what they're doing, but you see a mother who loved her kid. You see a mother who really doesn't kind of have a grasp on what has happened, did everything she thought she did to protect her child. And the emotional performance, the emotional rawness that Dowd gives in this movie is one of the best, most stirring performances of the year. It doesn't take away from the other actors, but the things she is doing, the things she is saying, how she is treating the situation at hand, how she doesn't know what to say, how to say it, but she's trying to everything in her power to apologize without really making it sound not authentic, I guess you could say. It's a really moving performance. And there's a point at the very end of this movie where she tells a story, where she says something, and like Jason Isaacs in this movie, he tells a story earlier on. It's a mind-blowing story because of her and loss and tragedy and everything else. And what she is doing in this movie, it's Oscar-worthy. It's an Oscar-worthy performance of just a brutal situation that nobody ever wants to have to go through, and she does it in a remarkable situation. And then Jason Isaac is giving, everybody in this movie is giving an amazing performance, but Dowd gives the most amazing performance. Jason Isaac gives the second most amazing performance. What he has to say about the situation at hand, how he's trying to compose himself, but he completely lets go at some point, how he has having to deal with everything, he's having to keep everything in line. He is the stuff that he ends up having to say and do and read off the script, and how he has to kind of come off is tragic and sad, and it's cathartic when you see him kind of having to let it go all out. And once again, it's just another great performance, another Oscar-worthy performance of 4 Oscar-worthy performances. And then, like I said, you have Martha Plimpton, who is so reserved in this movie, doesn't really have much to say throughout the movie. It's not till the very end when she truly gets her moment to shine that it really starts to portray how good she is in this movie, how much the true feeling of loss and heartache, and, you know, the fact that her kid is no longer there. It's I've never seen Martha Plimpton give such an amazing performance in all my life, and she just completely breaks you when she does what she has to do with Fran Kranz's script. You know, watching her kind of build slowly to that one moment is incredible. And then Reed Bailey is probably the least of the actors, but still an Oscar-worthy performance, because he's the guy that is I don't know if he's as least accepting, but he's the guy that just doesn't know how to talk or act, or when he eventually comes and he's able to kind of say what he needs to say, it is truly heartbreaking. You really truly feel for him, and you feel for everything that he has to go through and the situations at hand. What Dowd and Reed Bailey talk about in this movie, what they've had to deal with, what they've seen, who the people that have, you know, how the people have treated them, you really get a sense that it doesn't matter who you are. People are human, like I said, human, and just the nature of everything they have to go through. It's pretty sad. It really is. You never want to have to be on that side. You never have to want to be on either side. But what Dowd and Reed Bailey had to go through in this movie as actors portraying what they're reading off the script is it's insane. So it's an incredible performance from all four characters. The only thing I have a little bit of issue with is the kind of the interlude and interlude of the movie, where you have a couple characters that don't really fit the purpose of the movie. They're just there to kind of get the movie going and get the movie ending, and they're really kind of annoying. And I'm like, it kind of took away from the whole idea of the characters and stuff like that, but it doesn't take away from what the middle portion of this movie, the main crux of this movie, which is a very powerful story. And I give every credit to Fran Kranz, who's going to get a lot of praise and a lot of Oscar buzz for this movie, because his script is electric, it's magnetic, it's sad and heartbreaking. It's one of the most powerful things I've seen and listened to in quite a while. And his depth of directing, his ability to just show emotion and just let the camera see everything, let the emotions breathe out in its space, it's pretty incredible. So it's a pretty powerful film. It's gonna be one of my favorites of the year, definitely, and it's one of the best things that's gonna come out of Sundance. Like I said, I love Coda, but this took the bar of Coda and made it even higher. So it's pretty incredible. It's a pretty powerful movie, and it's definitely something I recommend. But yeah, it's a movie you're going to need a box of tissues for. It's a movie that's going to break you. It's a movie that's going to make you feel many emotions, and it's going to be a very Oscar contender type movie when it comes out, you know, later in the year or whenever it gets released and when it officially gets that kind of Oscar push. But once again, it's an incredible movie filled with incredible performances and deft direction, very incredible direction. So, but that's it. That's me, my take on Mask. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you're feeling on this movie. Are you looking forward to it now that you've heard of reviews for it? Like I said, it's going to be an interesting experience, what people think of this movie when they watch it. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you liked this video, awesome. Hit that like button, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.